buts globaux de l'ONU sous la loupe. Le 25 septembre 2015, les Nations Unies ont publié sous le nom de Agenda 2030 les 17 objectifs qu'ils veulent atteindre au cours des 15 prochaines années. Tandis que son prédécesseur, l'Agenda 21, se limitait presque uniquement à des aspects écologiques, le nouveau programme vise presque tous les domaines de la vie. Même si l'Agenda 2030 donne l'impression positive qu'il s'agit de prospérité, de paix et de justice sur une planète saine, en y regardant de plus près, on s'aperçoit cependant que tout n'est qu'un nouvel ordre mondial pour réduire tous les peuples en esclavage. Et voici en grande ligne les outils prévus. La centralisation des banques, l'abolition de l'argent liquide pour s'assurer un contrôle total de toutes les relations d'affaires, l'approvisionnement en nourriture régulé globalement par une minorité, surtout avec quelques grands groupes qui emploient principalement le génie génétique, l'interdiction de toute tentative d'autarcie, la suppression des contrôles nationaux sur les infrastructures et les ressources, en particulier les terres et l'eau, à force de privatisation dictée par le FMI, comme on le voit déjà actuellement en Grèce. La dissolution de la souveraineté nationale à l'échelle mondiale, l'imposition rigoureuse d'un monopole global de l'information, la surveillance généralisée, mind control, au moyen de la radiotechnologie mobile, des prétendues zones de libre-échange, TTIP et CETA, pour achever d'amener complètement l'Europe sous le diktat de l'oligarchie des banques américaines. Des taxes forcées sous n'importe quel prétexte, par exemple dans le domaine de l'environnement, des réfugiés, etc. Des guerres d'agression et de destruction initiées par les États-Unis et l'OTAN, sous couvert de missions de maintien de la paix et de la démocratie, le tout dans l'optique de déstabiliser l'Europe en l'inondant avec des réfugiés pour en fin de compte pouvoir la réduire en esclavage. La citation de l'écrivain et journaliste allemand Ludwig Börne résume bien cela. Si les gouvernements sont malades, alors les peuples doivent garder le lit.
And I'm from the United States, California. And my topic, what I speak about, is one of the most vitally important issues of our age, and that is United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, well, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. So I found out about it in a very unusual way, actually, because I spent my career as a legal witness, as an expert witness for the California Department of Transportation. I'm an expert in land use and land valuation. And so, of course, I was valuing property for the government so that the government could acquire that property for road projects. And what I found about 10 years ago, or 10 or 13 years ago, was that land actually, it was very difficult to say what it was worth because you couldn't know what people could do with it, because they were being restricted from using their property. And as I explored that and found that it wasn't just in the San Francisco Bay Area where I was working, it was in fact all across the nation and the world, I looked behind that and I found United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. The goal is to move everyone out of the rural areas and into the large cities, and to destroy representative government, and to move it into to a more to government by unelected boards and commissions. Now here in the EU, of course, you've already moved to that position where it's an erasure of jurisdictional boundaries, an erasure of national boundaries. And that is the goal, because as Zbigniew Brzezinski said in 1995, you can't just impose globalization pell-mell as a total movement. You have to do it incrementally, and the way to do that is through regionalization. Every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. People in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press attacks me and calls me a conspiracy theorist, which is totally ridiculous. It is a conspiracy, but it's not a theory. It's a fact. Here in Europe, it's openly spoken about, local Agenda 21. The principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism. And this is how it's implemented on the ground, is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to cut out the actual individual, your voter, and instead to take that to a level where we literally cannot penetrate. And this is the goal. So this is already far progressed in Europe. Now in the United States, we are moving into massive regionalization. The United States has 50 states, and it's divided into cities, counties, and states, and then the federal government. Instead, Agenda 21 is top-down. It's global, regional, neighborhood, and none of those positions is elected. Now, what this truly means is if you tell people that they have to build only smart growth, high density development in an urban center, and then no development, no buildings, no residential, no commercial can happen outside of that very, very concentrated area, then what do you have? You have a concentration camp of the future. This is exactly what it looks like. And you see, it's very much more subtle and much more sophisticated than it was when the Nazis were doing it. You are not going to get thrown on a train car. You'll have your family well monitored. You will have your energy restricted. You will have your school service cut, your sheriff's service cut. You will find that you are not able to get your goods to market, and then you have to move into the city, and then you will move into this high density development that is subsidized with our property tax dollars, and pretty soon you will have the Wildlands Project, which is predicated on moving people out of the rural areas. And this is how it happens. So, people say, well, hey, nobody's getting me off my land. Well, it's very easy. No one's going to come to your door with a gun, but they will move you off your land, and you will be in the cities. And those cities will be full capability of surveillance, monitoring, and control. These buildings, these high-density buildings, are being built with a concept of eyes on the street. You become basically a deputized police adjunct. Your job is to watch the street. Your job is to watch your neighbor. The war on terror is a war on you. And we all know this. We feel it. This is why we need to stop it. So this is our plan, is to use the courts at this point and stop this plan. And we're working on it.